All right. Now we get to get into the fun stuff. We get to introduce our bigs and littles. If you don't know, we have a mentorship program. Since you are a trial, you are automatically signed up as a little pirate. So you get a mentor, aka a big pirate, and they answer all your questions and they want to help you. So you can totally feel free to reach out to them any time. And you lucky little goose, your big pirate is actually Felix.
That's me.
The little pookie bean right here. The little pook magoo standing in the middle.
Alrighty.
Alright, if you're ready, I'll go ahead and talk at you a little bit more. And then we'll go ahead and start.
I'm ready.
Alrighty. So first we're going to start with our dressage basics, aka things you gotta know before you even start moving around the arena. So you've probably heard some of these before. But there's like the holy trinity of rules that we always follow. We always go on go whenever we do dressage. Typically in Crystal Pirates, we call things by saying move set, pre-go. So as soon as you hear that G of go ahead and start doing the mover sequence that is asked of you.
Okay.
As well, try to have rider anticipation. For example, if a trot set is called, move a tiny bit earlier than anticipated to satisfy screen delay. And screen delay is this lovely thing we have in Star Stable Dressage, which basically means you always need to be early on your screen to actually be on time for everybody else. We love it. As well, in Crystal Pirates, we ride over the dots, not to the right or to the left. So if you need to, you can open your settings and go to game and extend your field of view. That's just honestly personal preference. It's all up to you. But we trot over the dots. Oh, I just ran into you. But we trot over the dots, not to the right, not to the left. We love our dots. We ride all the way over them. So if you extend your field of view, you'll be able to see it easier.
Alrighty.
Okay. As well, in Crystal Pirates, we do a always default left rule. This is mostly for learning purposes, so you have kind of one less thing to worry about. You always know that odds will go left, evens will go right, so it's just kind of one thing to get off your mind while we're focusing on harder sequences and moves. So if a direction is not called, always go left. We love our lefts. Alrighty. So now we're going to go over some basic little gappings. You might have heard of these already, but we're going to go over them anyways. So whenever we're standing in line getting ready to trot, you might have heard of NTT or nose to tail. Your horse's nose is brushing the tail in front of you. These are also, some people call them standing gaps. Basically, oh, love that. One of us. Basically, that was so good. Basically, whenever we're standing and getting prepared to move, you want to be in NTT gaps. And then as well, we also have our main form of gapping, which is called boss or back of saddle. That's when you have your horse's nose inside of the player in front of you or scratching their little boot behind or the saddle. This is what it's going to look like on your screen, and for everybody else, it's going to look like you're in a tight NTT.
Alrighty.
Okay, last little thing before we start some fun stuff. In Crystal Pirates, to stop, we do halt set, pre-go, and we use our down arrow. So what that looks like is, thank you Felix for moving. So if I was trotting along and a halt set, pre-go was called, on go, I'm going to click my down arrow or S key until I've halted.
Alright.
Okay, does that make sense? Any questions on any of that?
No.
Alrighty. Woot, woot, woot. Okay, we're gonna get into the fun stuff. So now we're going to talk about adjustments. Basically, whenever we're doing dressage, there's always like some sort of micromanaging or adjustments that need to be made. Just love Star Stable, it's just what we gotta do. So there are a few methods you can adapt to adjust your gaps. Aim for micro-adjusting yourself, but in dire situations you can act as needed. So we're going to go over this thing first called CC corners, or curvy corners, if you want to come over here. Basically, whenever we're trotting along and we're about to turn, we take kind of a J corner where we brush the dot that we're turning off of. and then go on to the next line. Now, what you need to know is there's two kind of terms that we're going to go over here. If you need to widen your gap, you can do what we call in dressage scooping. So for example, if I was trotting along, I could totally just go around this dot and it will naturally widen my gap. And that's called scooping, which basically means you're going to take a very, very big turn and it will naturally widen your gap. Now, we can always do vice versa. If you need to tighten your gap, you can totally skip the corner dot and just basically do a slant.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
We ready?
Yeah.
Can we give it a try?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna actually line up and do some little gap exercises. Alright, so we're gonna start in NTT gaps, so nose to tail, nose to tail. And what's gonna happen is I'm gonna call a trot set. You guys are just going to stay in NTT gaps and follow Felix. And then I'm going to tell you guys to use your corners to tighten or widen your gaps.
Okay.
Alrighty, so let's go ahead and trot set, enter straight, pre and go. Very nice. And keep those nice NTT gaps, Alright, at this next corner, I want you to tighten your gap and get into boss gaps. So take a slanted corner and get into boss gaps. So this is where your horse's nose should be inside of the person in front of you or their saddle. Good. Good. Okay, try to get into those nice boss gaps. Good. Whenever we get to this next corner, now we're going to scoop and get back into NTT gaps. So at this corner, you're going to scoop and take it very wide and get back into our NTT gaps, Alright, now we're going to practice halting. So remember, on go, you're going to click your down arrow or S key until you've stopped. So halt set, pre, go. So press your down arrow. So we're going to do a immediate trot set, pre and go. So everybody should be moving, and you should file back into NTT.
Oh, I see what you're talking about now.
Yeah. All right, now we're going to go over some more methods to combat, basically how to do our nice little adjustments. So we have these things called small wiggles, which is where you move side to side, but they're very, very small and you can barely see it. So I want you all to start tapping your left-right keys, just very gently, left, right. Your horse's head should be moving. Oh, I just hit the wall. But on my screen, I won't be able to see it. So just keep doing those left-right taps. It should slow you down a tiny bit. Good. And now we're going to go into big wiggles. So make them big. I want you to see those big wiggles. Let's see those big wiggles. So hold down your key, make it really big, and it should be slowing you down. You can make them really big. Good, and now let's go back to trotting straight. And then we also have our tap strides. So now we're going to try some canter hops or canter strides. So I want you all to just start clicking your up arrow, down arrow continuously back to back. You should notice your horse taking like a half a canter stride. Oh, I just saw that. Oh, good job, Lulu. That was good. That was good, Lulu.
I thought I had my finger on D and apparently it was on W.
Good job. Yeah, you can canter back up into NTT gaps. And then try those little canter hops. So you should do your up arrow, down arrow, very consecutively. Oh, Giggles is on her belting.
Maybe I should not hold my mouse when I do this.
Good. Alright, now we're going to try walk strides or walk taps. So now you're going to down arrow, up arrow, consecutively after each other. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start with our curl. Remember to go on go.
Okay.
Alright, let's give it a try. So I'm going to call a immediate trot set, pre and go. And let's get into boss gaps. So you can take that corner or you can do your little canter taps, do whatever you need to do. But your horse's nose should now be in front of the player in front of you's saddle. Nose in the saddle in front of you. Good. Alright, so now we're going to try a curl set, full circle by yourself, pre and go. Good, very good, guys. And curl set, pre, go. Very nice. Oh, rest in peace. Okay, that thing is lucky case 0. That would have been really cool to kept trying after this. Should play the chicken dance song.
My computer's having a stroke. I was like, our zero spirit has taken over and is playing SSO for 0.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, we're gonna keep and run around because that concludes orientation and y'all quite literally killed it, and I'm gonna play the song for you.
Let the dogs out! Who let the dogs
Ho! 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 I'm in a whole new world.